keeping score. The results.
Keeping score.
The results from week 3.
Week 4.
It is week 4. Oh, the results from week 4.
Yeah.
The results from week 4. It's week 5.
Don't
I'm not even used to it being week 5. Yeah, the results.
This is insane.
From week 4. Let's pop these up on the board.
Hit me with your best shot.
Got our running back results up here. Once again, Derek can't see them. Sucks for him.
That's okay. I already know that Lev Bell's on there. First game back, Le'Veon Bell, baby.
7. He did it. That garbage time was a friend to him. So, as you can see, the broad strokes are half of the running backs that were drafted as starters finish as top 12. For those uninitiated, I look at the running backs whose ADP, the position players, running backs and wide receivers, who ADP was top 24 at their position at the end of the summer. And did they finish as an RB1 or wide receiver 1 in any given week? Because that's sort of a better indicator of whether the early round running backs and wide receivers were successful or not. Because fantasy football is a weekly game, not a season-long game, unless you're playing in some weird, roto season-long stupid thing. So in normal leagues, you care about your week-to-week results. So this week, half of the RB1s were players drafted in the top 24 as starters. We'll run through this. Number 1 was DeMarco Murray. Again, he's
the
been
revelation.
Here every week. He is the only player, running back or wide receiver, drafted top 24 to finish as a top 12 at their position every week. No wide receiver has done it. DeMarco Murray is the only running back to do it. Taken in the early 5th round as the RB19. Just a collective whiff by everyone on DeMarco Murray.
If you drafted DeMarco Murray, you're swimming.
Man, I drafted him and then traded him for Todd Gurley. It's not looking good. It's not looking good on that trade.
There's still time.
There's still time
for Todd Gurley to come out of it.
There's still plenty of time. Number 2 is Ezekiel Elliott. Finally has his coming out party. And he went big, 21 fantasy points. He was drafted as an RB4 first rounder, so you're glad to see him finally doing that. He was always just the touchdowns were kind of the problem, and now he's getting them. So Zeke's a stud.
Yep.
Number 3 was Matt Jones, drafted as the RB26. Matt Jones is the RB26 in the 6th round, not drafted as a starter. Maybe you started him. I did, and I was happy about it, but not someone you drafted that way. Number 4, Isaiah Crowell, drafted as the running back 41 in the 11th round. He's been on this list 3 times now, 3 out of 4 weeks. We said he's a sell, so we don't think this is going to keep happening. Number 5, John Kuhn, the vulture. John Kuhn, yeah, he vultured 3 touchdowns. Thing? This is a real thing. He took 3 touchdowns away from Mark Ingram. He actually physically took one away from Kobe Fleener in that game where it was a pass for Kobe Fleener, and John Kuhn's like, no, I got this. And he caught the pass himself and went down on the 1-yard line and then plunged it in on the next play. So the ultimate vulture, John Kuhn, comes in at RB5. Don't ever count on that again. Number 6, Melvin Gordon, drafted as a RB23 in the 6th round, drafted as a starter. Takes 2 touchdowns to get him there. Mirage, yeah.
Mirage.
Sell him off. Get rid of him. He's done. He's cooked. Number 7, Le'Veon Bell. He's back.
There he is.
Back with
Finally.
the boom. Drafted as the RB6 in the I put his ADP just as the 17th selection. So he was taken in the 2nd round of drafts. Terrence West was the RB8. Mirage, don't buy it. Maybe he's a sell, but probably not after 1 week. He probably couldn't get much for Terrence West right now.
Man,
drafted as the RB50. RB9 was LaShawn McCoy, another starter appears.
He's been good of late. He's really good.
Yeah, he's had 3 weeks, I believe. Did I write this down? I tweeted this
two really good weeks, and then in week 2 he was okay.
Yeah, McCoy had 2 weeks where he finished as a top 12 running back. But he's been good as far as high running backs are going. Number 10, Mark Ingram clocks in.
There he is.
Taken as the RB8 in the 2nd round. Just missed out last week. I think he was like half a point away from being an RB1, but gets in this week. So Mark Ingram's been good the last couple weeks. Happy to see that.
Even with his touchdowns being vultured.
Even with it, man, imagine if Kuhn wasn't there. Mark Ingram could be the RB1 this week, which is a good indicator of that San Diego run defense.
Raking in the Kuhn.
Raking in the Kuhn. Number 11 was Frank Gore. Yeah, as you said, he's been
there he
he's
is.
been good over the last couple of games, but taken as the RB28, 7th round, not a starter. And RB12 coming in on Monday night, Jerick McKinnon, taken in the 16th round. The next Adrian Peterson just squeaks in as the RB12. So that makes 6 running backs. That is like an even 50-50 split on the week, but you also have to look at the player pool, because even though there were 24 running backs taken as starters, there's injuries, there's bye weeks. So there was actually only 18 running backs to pull from for this pool. So 6 of those 18 finished as an RB1, meaning approximately 33%, a third, finished as RB1s, which doesn't sound like much right now, but it's important to remember when we get to wide receivers. So
yes, all right. So any general comments about the running backs?
The general comments are. There's a version of this where you could have gone early running back and it went very well for you. It's possible you took McCoy, Ingram, and DeMarco Murray all with early round picks, and that would have gone well for you. Or DJ isn't here this week, but he was here every week before this. It's possible
he's been great.
DJ round 1, McCoy round 2. Ingram sometimes slipped into the 3rd round, but he didn't. Or you get DeMarco Murray being in the 5th round just kind of throws us all out of whack. You could have gone DJ, McCoy, Murray, and just you're set at running back.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, early running back was a possibility. Yeah. So far, early round running backs have been okay. It's been fine. Let's switch over to the wide receiver. But blam, wide receiver numbers up on the board. The similar split, but this time only 5 wide receivers.
I wonder who's number 1 on this list. I can't see it, but.
You'll just have to wait like everyone else who can't see it.
Okay.
Only 5 wide receivers drafted as starters finish as wide receiver 1, so 1 less than running backs. Number 1, Julio Jones, big surprise.
What?
Has his first massive week of the season.
Jeez. Yeah. I mean, if this was PPR, I think he put up 50 points.
Probably. Yeah, this is a good time to point out this is standard scoring.
Close to 50 points. Yeah.
Close. Number 2. Contain yourself, but number 2 is Michael Crabtree. There it is.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, he wasn't drafted as a starter. He was the wide receiver 35 in the 7th round.
Did you say Crabtree or was that Grabtree?
Sure, Crabtree. Why not? Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Number 3 was AJ Green from that massive Thursday night game, where if the Dolphins had been able to stay in it even a little bit, he might have had a Julio-esque game. But
3 elite wide receivers so far.
3 elite wide receivers so far. Julio was a first rounder. I mean, AJ Green was a first rounder, so he's been boomer bust this year. But the booms have been a booming. Number 4 was Brian Quick.
What?
Yeah, Brian Quick. Undrafted. Don't expect this to happen again on any regular basis. So moving on.
Where's that Kenny Britt?
Kenny Britt's not on this list somehow. Brian Quick just vultured it. I didn't see this, but I assume anytime a pass was thrown to Brian Quick, it was meant for Kenny Britt. And Quick
just like that John Kuhn situation.
Yeah, he Kuhned it. Yeah, he John Kuhned it for sure. All right, number 5 was Antonio Brown, wide receiver 1. Kind of the same narrative. If the Chiefs have been able to stay in this game, maybe Brown goes just fully nuclear. Number 6, Dontrell Inman. We were expecting a Tyrell game, and it was an Inman game, which just makes this receiving core frustrating to know they can alternate like that.
Yeah, just not predictable whatsoever. So stay away.
Stay away. Number 7, Inman was an undrafted guy. Number 7, Eddie Royal, also undrafted. Benefits from the Kevin White injury, and has a big week. Number 8, Steve Smith. Finally,
there we go.
Gets up to full speed again off his Achilles. Finishes as wide receiver 1, the rotting corpse of Steve Smith. He was taken at the end of 12th round in draft, so he was not drafted as a starter. Number 9, Demaryius Thomas. Drafted as wide receiver 17 in the 3rd round. Brandon Marshall was wide receiver 10. Taken in the 2nd round. Makes a fool out of Richard Sherman on a couple plays. Very painful to watch.
That doesn't happen too often, though.
No. It takes someone like Brandon Marshall to do it. Number 11 was Jeremy Curley, an undrafted guy as well. There's 4 undrafted guys in this top 12, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. There's only one undrafted guy in the running backs, and it was John Kuhn. Number 12, Emmanuel Sanders, just outside of the starter range, who's taken as a wide receiver.
Both
29.
Denver wide receivers?
Both Denver wide receivers, yeah.
What?
Not what you would expect, but that's how extremely friendly the Tampa Bay secondary is to quarterbacks and receivers. So that makes 5 wide receivers taken as starters, finishing in the top 12, 4 of which are guys that were taken in the first 2 rounds as wide receiver ones. So not quite as good as the running backs. They notched just one less, just below it. And for the sort of percentage thing I did with the running backs, the pool for wide receiver was 19 instead of 18. So 19 of the 24 guys drafted were available this week, either because of injury or bye weeks. And so 5 of that 19 is approximately a quarter, just a little over a quarter. And so we're seeing that a third of the running backs available in the pool finish as running back ones, while only a quarter of the wide receivers available finish as wide receiver ones. So this was a better week for running back again for the second week in a row. We're seeing
it's been a better season for the running backs so far.
Yeah, the season total so far are 23 top 12 finishes for the running back, 18 for the wide receiver.
Yep.
So through the quarter mark of the season, the early round running backs, or at least the starting running backs, guys taken in the first 5 rounds, are helping you more than those wide receivers.
Yeah, and we're just seeing Lev Bell return after the bye week. This week we should see, I'm sure a lot of Jamal Charles owners are hoping we see a Jamal Charles that is 100%.
Yeah.
So these are 2 names that were drafted in the top 24 that should appear.
We should start seeing on this list. We're already seeing Le'Veon Bell, and assuming Jamal's himself. Based off of the one run he had, he looked like vintage Jamal. Going
that
up
1
the gut,
6-yard gain,
getting 6 yards. It's like, oh, look at that burst, Jamal. Ooh, my totally unbiased opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if not, it's going to be Spencer Ware, so you'll be fine.
Got it. No, we want it to be Charles, because if it's not, it's going to be a maddening committee that's like unusable. There's no version where Ware just like runs away with the job. Unfortunately, I'd rather it just be one or the other, but it's
committees are in, man.
Committees are
what
so
it's all
in
about
right now.
They're so in. Teams are trying to roll out 4-man committees now just to keep everyone fresh. It's like it's happening in Philadelphia. It's happening in Miami. The three-headed monster in Oakland.
The 4-headed monster. Yeah, that's the way to go.
Basically, C-Mike is the only running back you can count on right now.
C-Mike, he's just like a blessing on all of us. C-Mike, yeah, it's we talk.
He is just a blessing right now.
Blessing. C-Mike will never be on this sell high list, I don't think, unless like maybe when Rawls comes back, if C-Mike. But even then, I don't know. Like I don't know. I think C-Mike is just on his way to being one of these league-winning running backs this year. We'll see. We'll see how it pans out after the bye, but. It's looking good so far.
It sounds like Rawls is out for what, another 3-4 weeks?
It sounds like he's out for all of October. So like November is the earliest we'll see him. So that's 3 games that
he's not getting the job back at this point.
No, it's kind of too late with Michael kind of on this tear. And we saw him in a bad matchup with the Jets. It's not like he found a lot of running room, but he then like made hay in the receiving game, which is like that's what you want to see out of your like potential RB1s, is that when the game script is against them, they still produce because they're part of the receiving game.
Script proof.
That is the hope for Todd Gurley owners is, he didn't find any running room, but he was suddenly involved in the passing game last week. And if that becomes a regular thing, then that is good news for Gurley.
That is good news. And you have to think, LA, they've received a lot of flack in the media, like they're a terribly run organization, but they're still an NFL team. You have to think that the coaching staff is smart enough to realize that Todd Gurley is their offense.
Yeah.
Okay. And if he is getting shut down in the running game, then they need to find a way to get him involved. And that happened last week against Arizona. He made a lot of work. Did a lot of work in the passing game.
Receiving yards. Like he was a great receiver in college. I'm not sure why it took the Rams this long to realize, hey, wait a second, we could just use him as a 3-down back. Maybe they're like, let's keep him fresh and have him only on early downs. But he can do it all, and it only helps their offense to have him because he's better than Benny Cunningham in every aspect of the game. So why not have him always out there?
The good news for Todd Gurley owners too, and Todd Gurley has only appeared on this list one time against Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
when he had the 2 touchdowns.
The 2-touchdown game. Yeah,
his schedule is going to soften up a little bit. He gets Buffalo this week at home, and Buffalo has not been good against the run. We saw Forte totally dominate them. This last week, they managed to keep Blunt in check for the most part, but it's LeGarrette Blunt. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, the encouraging thing is we've seen the Rams passing game seems to be working, actually. They've kind of figured out how to make it function. And so defenses, they're 3-1 because defenses are still saying, nope, we're going to ignore the passing game's work. We're going to keep stopping the run, and that is bad for them. They can, defenses can't keep doing that, so they're going to have to start respecting the pass. Opens up a little bit of, room for Gurley, maybe start seeing 6-man boxes instead of 14-man boxes. And
yeah, Buffalo and Detroit is next 2 matchups. So with a talent like Gurley, sometimes it just takes, a couple of long runs to regain that confidence, and it could happen in the next
Eddie Lacy a couple years ago.
Eddie Lacy, yeah. I feel bad for Todd Gurley, man. Everyone is dumping on Todd Gurley. If you read Twitter right now, I don't see one analyst that is saying like Todd Gurley's going to turn this thing around. Yeah. Everyone has completely jumped ship on him after his amazing season last year, and we're 4 games into the season, and he's had 2 bad games, 1 like mediocre game, and then 1 good game.
Yeah.
So Todd Gurley, I mean, somebody to keep an eye on. I hope for my sake that he turns around because I own him in the league.
Me too. All right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
That was Keeping Score. That was Sneaky Starts. That is the end of the episode as we know it.
Can we just keep on talking about fantasy? I love it.
We're over an hour. We're not going to do this.
Let's go 5 hours. No, you don't need to sleep. It's
early
podcast. Here.
Oh man,
it's only 2:45 for me. Come on, stay up another 8 hours.
What are you even doing that you're there in the middle of the day doing this podcast?
That's because I work in the evening.
Oh man, that's
except on Saturday and Sunday, then I work like 14 hours a day, each of the days.
Good Lord, man, Singapore. Poor.
Well, you'll be here soon enough. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Leo for compiling all these statistics. I basically don't do anything except sit here and look good. So thank you, Leo.
Well, you do half of that. So
yeah.
50%. All right. Like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. It's right here. Follow us on Facebook. It's over there. We will be back. We will be back again next week with more hot takes. Make sure to follow us on Twitter because I feel like we record these episodes like middle of the week, and then like Friday and Saturday hit, and we have like new ideas and we tweet them out. And like if you don't follow us there, you're not going to hear about them. And those usually end up being better takes because we have more information. So follow us, all those things, and we will catch y'all on the flippity floppity.
Flippity floppers.